Welcome, everyone. I'm John Ryan of John Ryan Sports and founder of the Predictive Playbook. I'm very excited to be the first NFL show, actually the second. I did one a few weeks ago that has some very strong week 1 through week 4 betting opportunities for you to consider and study along with your other handicapping needs. But let's get right to the show here. First of all, please ring the bell and hit subscribe. It takes 2 seconds. We're up to 3,000 subscribers now. Hopefully, we'll be up to 5 in a few weeks. That would be very, very good. So what we have here is a flash sale for NFL and college football. It's 50% off, and you are the only ones that are seeing this. And this is a thank you for watching my shows going forward. It helps me keep the costs low for the subscriptions and pay all my overhead expenses, including servers and that maintain the extremely large databases that I maintain that produce these winning and profitable seasons, now entering my 30th year. I can hardly even believe it. So you get basically 50% off the $1,000 regular price. It's $500 for both. And if you sign up today or anytime in the next couple of days, you will get the rest of August free. That includes Major League Baseball, WNBA, and CFL action, along with college football. So it's a great opportunity to get on board at a very, very cheap price, the lowest price I've ever charged. If you want just one or the other, it's $300 for each season. Again, the lowest price in 30 years, and just trying to give opportunities for everybody to afford these subscription plans and join me for another winning season. So moving on here, we have 4 more first 3 weeks NFL betting opportunities. So I did that first show, as I mentioned, that was installed about 2 weeks ago. I have some other ones coming here in the next couple of slides that are really, really good and very strong and are going to be supported by my predictive models especially for the week 1 opportunities, whether they end up being graded as 8 or 10 unit plays, remains to be seen. They also could be graded 5. That's my grading, 5, 8, and 10. For the money management part of this, the 10s do extraordinarily well over the years, especially in the NFL and college football ranks. That is pretty much the reason why I've been hitting 64% across the board. A lot of times with Major League Baseball and hockey, we're on underdogs that are 10-unit bets. Not all the underdogs win, but if you bet dogs and you go 50% or better for the season, you are going to make money. And that's how professional bettors make money in the NHL and Major League Baseball, by playing far more underdogs than favorites. So let's get to the slide here. Start the season. Terrible teams are undervalued. If you really think about it and put the numbers aside, if you're a team like Arizona or the Bears have optimism, certainly, with Caleb Smith under center and looking very good. But the teams that have been perennial non-playoff type of teams, especially the ones that maybe had expectations last year to make the playoffs and then didn't. The New York Giants come to mind. They've had some roster problems. They've had offensive line problems. But you get these situations where the sentiment of the market is so negative that you get value in betting the wins totals for these really poor teams. I personally like the New England Patriots over 5 wins this year, as I think in that division, they should be able to scrape 3 wins there. Even if they scrape 2, they have a schedule that would allow them to win another 4 games somewhere down the road. Let's not forget, too, that there are a lot of upsets in the NFL. All you have to do is look at the last few years of the Circa Eliminator and look at the carnage in the first couple of weeks, and that sums it up. There's a lot of times a double-digit underdog will shock the world and upset that favorite that is the number 1 selected pick in the Circa Eliminator. So, keep this in mind as we get prepared for the season. So we're going to bet on a road underdog, including pick'em, and up to 5.5 points. The game is scheduled for the first 3 weeks of the regular season, and the dog won 6 or fewer games in the previous season. So an awful season by anybody's definition. And the total is between 40 and 50 points, which is basically right in the bulk of the area underneath a normal distribution. So don't worry about that. It covers basically 75% of all the games that are played in the NFL. So that set of parameters, 49-55 straight up, then 64-34 for 65% since 1989. If these teams won between 4 and 6 games in the previous season, check this out. 50 and 18, 6 pushes, 73.5% against the spread since 1989, and rarely has this particular system had a losing record in week 1. So this is pretty good stuff. It's 14 and 4 for 78% straight up. And we're talking about underdogs here, guys and gals. And then here's the clincher. 16 and 1 ATS, 94% winning bets since 2019 with these underdogs that, had a lot of fleas on them in the previous season, but really want to prove something in the beginning of this season. So what teams does that focus us on? It focuses on these teams right here. Week 1, Titans plus 4.5 at the Bears. Commanders plus 3.5 at the Bucks. Panthers plus 5 at the Saints. Panthers plus 4 at the Raiders in week 3. And there it is. The subset is 16-1-1. Focuses on the Titans plus 4.5 at the Bears. Wouldn't that be something if week 1, with all the expectations that the Bears are going to be better, and they should be better, but is it going to really happen in week 1? That doesn't measure a season. The season is 18 games. So that's the whole point of this. Commanders plus 3.5 at the Bucks. That wouldn't be that big of an upset in my opinion, but it still qualifies under a 16-1-1 ATS subset. So this is stuff that isn't even graded on my 8 and 10 unit plays. So imagine how strong the analytics are on the ones that I give to my clients year in and year out. And like I said, it's 30 years that I've been doing this as a professional bettor. And I really hope you take a chance and join me for that 50% off sale. That would be awesome if you did. And lastly here, I want to just show this slide here. Public sentiment is very important. I worked on Wall Street for 18 years. My last position was a chief currency strategist. And nowhere else did I learn, more importantly, that sentiment is really where tops and bottoms occur. So if you have a stock market like we just had, where NVIDIA and the high tech stocks are just flying higher and higher and higher, it creates somewhat of a bubble. Maybe not like a bubble at the end of the internet craze in 1998 and 99 and 2000, but nevertheless, it did form a top. And 77%, between 77 and as high as 79% of the traders surveyed in the S&P 500 were bullish, and that's too many. And for whatever reason, we're all smart people, but when a lot of smart people are all thinking the same thing, for whatever reason, it goes the other way. Conversely, at bottoms, if 25% of the people are bullish on the stock market or a particular sector or a commodity or gold or crude oil or gasoline, those are when the bottoms happen. The same thing happens in sports betting. You start getting 70% of the tickets and only, say, 30% of the handle on those particular teams. That's a red flag. It really, truly is a red flag. That percentage doesn't really happen that much. But if you get 70% of the tickets and then 70, even more than that on the handle, that can set up the stage for a pretty good betting opportunity. They don't always win, so don't blindly just go to some of these sites, including mine, and just look at the percentages and think that that's going to be a winning bet, because it won't be. There's a lot of times that the betting community is going to be right on these games. So keep that in mind. Betting sentiment is a big factor. Listen to the media, especially in New York and the Philadelphia regions. No other media center has set the stage that really I use it to underscore what my sentiment readings are from my models. So if it's, the type of tones that the coach has to go, this is going to be another losing season. The players stink. This guy was supposed to be a great tight end. He can't even catch a ball. Then get bullish. It really is amazing how often it happens that way. Anyway, one last thing here, and this is for you. This is something that I've been looking to do for many, many years with the sports books. And now that it's legal in 46 states, it's making it a lot easier for me to be able to generate another revenue funnel, and one for you too, in getting some really outstanding bonuses that I actually take advantage of myself. I believe in these companies. I've researched them. I've been using them for many, many years. And I think you will benefit greatly from them as well. It also helps me to absorb costs and keep the subscription prices as low as I'm making them now. So I hope you take advantage of this offer. You get not just 125% deposit you get it on 3. So if you do $100 on your first deposit, they're going to put 125 into your account, making 225. So anything up to, I believe it's up to over $3,000 in bonus. So if you would do 1,500, they would match that with 125% of 1,500 on top of that deposit. And say you make another deposit. It's good for 3 consecutive deposits. Your first 3 deposits, you get 125%. I don't know of any other place on the planet that offers this. I think it's a tremendous deal, and I do hope you take advantage of it. You can just click that link and sign up, and that's it. And I appreciate the help, and you're getting a nice little bonus too. So I think this is truly a win-win, and you can use these accounts to bet my football plays too and make even more, hopefully. Looking for my 10th straight season of profitability, including the live betting too. I do a lot of that. That's part of the subscription, which I failed to mention. And I do the live strategies before the game starts. So you get it in the research report of how I'm looking to play the game and how much I'm going to put down pre-flop and what I'm looking for in the first half as betting opportunities. So believe me, it may sound confusing now, but when you see the research, it's laid out in a very objective format that is a plan, and you follow the plan, and most of the time it works out pretty darn well. But, you hit 65%. It also means you lose 35% of the time. It's just like a baseball hitter is in the Hall of Fame if he gets 1 hit every 3 at-bats. Well, we want to do better than that in sports betting, of course, but you get my point. And I think I've made the point quite well. So anyway, I really appreciate you watching the show. I'll be back again tomorrow with another edition with more college football and NFL picks to consider for the first 4 weeks of the regular season. And until then, always remember to bet with your head, never over it, and may all the wins be yours.